Greetings and welcome to Leadership Edge. I'm Dr. Siobhan. I hope that you are enjoying your month of April so far. Think about it. On March 20th, we sprung into the new season, which was spring. And so I'm excited about this episode. Our title today is Spring into Your Dreams. I know and you know that spring is one of the best times of the year because we're shifting from the cold weather to hearing more of the birds chirping, the flowers are blooming, the trees are blooming as well. And of course, those of us who have to face pollen, like I do in the South, we do have that pollen that affects many of us as well. But the unique thing about spring is it really applies to leadership growth. I know you're wondering how and why. Well, when you think of spring, it's about new beginnings, it's about growth, it's about opportunity, it's about mirroring your journey in leadership. And so I want to encourage you today. Think about the seeds that you planted in the fall, the seeds, whether it was seeds of kindness, seeds of humility, seeds of integrity, whether you financially sowed seeds, those seeds have the opportunity to come to harvest. So we plant seeds not only for our own food, where we have our farmers that go out and, they plant big harvests and hoping that when the time comes, they'll gain a big harvest as well. But as a leader, we should be planting seeds as well. I live by the golden rule where it says, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And so when you do right by people, people will do right by you. Now, don't get me wrong. There are going to still always be people that are going to choose to do the wrong thing or cause havoc or harm. But you as a person have a responsibility to yourself to be sure to make sure that you're planting those seeds. So just as we plant seeds for our dreams. So what is your dream? Well, let me share a dream that I had with you. At 6 years old, I did something that most 6-year-olds would never do. But even at that age, I said, you know what? I'm going to write a book about this because as a kid, I was creative. I had an imagination and I enjoyed writing stories. It took me from the age of 6 to about the age of 30 to finally pen that story. Mind you, I said at 6, I'm going to write a book, not even thinking about what it meant to really write a book. I finally penned the story. I went through several reviews of the story, but the book stayed on the shelf. So I had this manuscript and I didn't know I couldn't afford to do the publishing because at that time, all I knew about was more of the traditional publishing. And then you didn't want to get caught into scams. So it sat on the shelf. It sat on the shelf, I think about 3 to 4 years, but I never gave up on the dream because, mind you, I had a manuscript complete. Finally, it took me changing and shifting jobs and being connected with people. And that's why I believe and I always pray, Lord, send the divine connection. Send me to be connected to the people who are going to empower me and help propel me into my destiny. Once again, I had already planted that seed. I spoke it from my mouth. This is what was going to happen. I had a dream, and now finally by 2014, I published my first children's book. Woohoo! And so I'm here to tell you whatever seed you planted for your dream, with time, patience, and care, you will reap a harvest, or we should say in spring, you will bloom. Another thing to think about with thinking about spring and looking at spring as a metaphor to your leadership growth, Eleanor Roosevelt has a great quote where she says, the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. So I ask you, what are you dreaming about in this season? I want you to spring into your dreams. Being consistent. The secret ingredient to leadership success is consistency. So what did I do? I never forgot about the story. The story was the main focus. That one single event in my life was the main focus of the book. All I had to do was create what was going to happen around that story to get to that main point of the book. And so what was the secret ingredient? I had the mindset. I knew this is what I wanted to accomplish. I made the decision and I did it. In situations where you may be in a place where you are here, you're growing as a leader, you're leading a team. And so you have to be consistent in your actions when you're dealing with your team. Don't waver. If you say you're going to do something, be a person of your word because people are always looking for you to be honest and true. That's how you build trust. And then be the one that promotes the momentum within your team. Boost them up, encourage them, give them a pat on the back, say, great job. That's a way to a secret ingredient for your leadership success. Let's think about some female leaders who stay consistent and built powerful legacies and still building legacies. Think about Michelle Obama. Even Oprah Winfrey has built a legacy and continues to build a legacy. Think about pastoral women. I think about Dr. Cynthia Hale here in the Georgia area. I think about Pastor Betty Price out in California. They have left an indelible mark on not only the ministry, but on women as well. So I leave you with this quote in this section about the secret ingredient. Success is the sum of all efforts repeated day in and day out. And this is by Robert Collier. So think about it. It's about the small efforts. Small efforts. I didn't say huge efforts. I said small efforts. Number 3, persistence when you face challenges. Well, I did. When it came time for the book, that was a major challenge. I mean, traditional publishing was talking crazy talk, $6,000, $8,000. I didn't have that. But I just knew that one day, whether it was going to go the traditional route, and finally I learned more about self-publishing or going the self-publishing route. Think about Oprah Winfrey. I remember her telling her story about she was a news anchor, and so she realized her pay wasn't even the same pay as her male colleague, but they were doing the exact same work. That's a challenge that we face. We are going to face challenges. God's word tells us we're going to face challenges. We're going to have highs and lows. We're going to be in the valleys. But he said, yea, though we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, we shall fear no evil, for he is with us. So don't allow the challenge to cripple you. Allow the challenge to help you weigh out the storm. Keep pushing forward. Keep that dream in your peripheral as well as in your forefront, and just know you'll do it. Confucius says it doesn't matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. Think about the story of the tortoise and the hare. The hare was running. The tortoise kept at his same pace, and they both got to the finish line. But who got to the finish line that wasn't exhausted, out of breath? Think about it. You want to finish this race. You want to finish it strong. Finally, I leave you with this point. Take action. Your spring leadership plan. Have you developed one? Spring is here, so let's turn your dreams into action. Was it for you to start a business? Was it for you to write a book? Was it for you to go back to school? Well, I can talk to you about all 3 of those categories because I've done them all. So I want to encourage you, write down your dreams. Now, this year, I didn't do a vision board. Guys, I still have 2 vision boards up on my wall. And I said, until them visions come to pass, what more vision do I need? What I did this year was focus on some of those visions that I have and turn them into smaller visions. And so what I'm doing now is building on those smaller visions. So write it down. Make your leadership goal clear. Break it down into small, manageable tasks and commit to being consistent in every action that you take, one step at a time. That's what I'm doing. I have my calendar. I have everything that I could think of, even something down to paying a bill that I need to remember. I put it on my calendar. It's color coded. I have tasks on my calendars that send me reminders. Whatever it may be, I encourage you. Write it down, jot it down, and take it one step at a time. Like Lao Tzu says, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. So I leave you with this. It is time for you to spring into the season of new possibilities and growth. As women in leadership, it is our time to bloom, to stay consistent and to be persistent. Your dreams are within each of you and it's within reach. Don't allow fear, doubt, self-doubt to hold you back. Take that first step, stay focused, and keep moving forward. I'm calling you to action. It's your turn. Pick one leadership goal for this spring, set your plan in motion, and stay committed. I'm here for you to partner with you. So if you are looking for a coach, you can email me or you can click on the link to schedule your free 30-minute Become Unstoppable discovery call. I love to empower women, and I know that when I pay it forward and the next person pay it forward, think about how many women in the generations that we're going to be a blessing to. Thank you so much for joining me of this edition of Leadership Edge. I hope that you are going to spring into your leadership growth. Have a blessed day.